how sweet the sound.
We're just going to Om for a few minutes, I think. Just make yourself comfortable. We'll be beginning here in just a moment. Take a few Oms. Welcome the Om. Allow yourself to soften completely and feel it well up from deep in your belly. Let's invoke the Lord of auspicious occasions. In every moment is an auspicious occasion, a new beginning. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. Terranize cosmic water. Would like to invoke the Lord of cosmic waters, Narayana. Om Namo Narayana. The blessing invocation from the Katha Upanishad. May we all work together. May we all be full. May we all be happy. And may we all be at peace. Tejas vinavaditama Okay. So, why don't we begin seated as we are and begin to bring our awareness to how we're contacting the ground. You can have your eyes open or your eyes closed, but allow your jaw to be open. Maybe even bring your fingertips right up to the joint here, the jaw joint, the TMJ. And just squeeze a little. And try to close your jaw as you squeeze. And it doesn't want to do that. Right? The muscles don't want to go that way. They want to be open and back. If you draw the jaw back just a little bit, you can feel the muscles release, right? In the jaw, and then you can close it a little bit. That's where we want to release the jaw to its back and down. Relax those muscles. If you just let it drop forward, those muscles are still engaged. It's back, and a lot of people want to lead with their chin, so they're out like this, and those muscles are constantly engaged. Let it be soft and easy. It's easy. It's the flesh on the face easy. The flesh behind the ears. You can begin to feel the lengthening of the neck as you soften behind the ears. Soften into the jaw. Soften into the collarbone. Soften into the shoulder blades. Begin to notice if you carry your shoulders more towards the collarbone or more towards the shoulder blades. And just notice if one shoulder is perhaps different than the other. Not trying to change it, just observing. Begin to feel from the bottom of your skull down to the top of your shoulders. If you reach back there, you can feel there's kind of a knob. Right? There's two knobs. There's a smaller knob and a bigger knob. And then right up in that soft part, right under the skull, that's where the spine begins. You can even bring your finger up there. Don't push hard. The softer the better. Just enough to disturb the flesh. Just enough to create a ripple underneath. And just maybe draw a finger from right underneath the skull down to where the thoracic spine begins, where those knobs are. And maybe allow now just a finger to go from the tops of the shoulders towards the head, softly and slowly, and allow the head to elongate. And allow the pelvis to be heavy, feeling the length. Release the arm if you have it up there. Jaw soft, slowly drawing towards the chin, slowly drawing towards the collarbone, in and down. Just wherever it feels relaxed. And you can feel the crown of the head just lifting just a little bit. And if you have hair, you can reach up and you can feel the flat part at the back of your head back here. Just bring your hand up there and feel it. I have enough hair to do this now where I can grab right there and allow my elbow to lift up with my chin down. So I don't want to lift my chin. I want to lift my spine. I want to keep the lower back heavy and lift the spine from the back of my head. That's a better sensing point than the absolute crown of the head. This is more in line with the spine. See if you can just feel it. We're not really pulling on it. We're just guiding the length. And as you do that, see if you can feel. Maybe release a little and engage again. Maybe bring your fingers into the neck. See if you can feel the vertebrae moving with respect to each other. Softly and easily. Allow your ribs to relax, your spine to be relaxed and responsive to that. Go ahead and release that. And then begin to bring your awareness from the neck area down the back, between the shoulder blades. Now let's pause a moment between the shoulder blades and begin to imagine that there is a ball right in the heart space. And the heart space sits a little bit lower than most people think it does. It really kind of sits right down at the xiphoid process, that soft, mushy bone down there. It rides on top of the diaphragm, and the diaphragm, that's where the diaphragm is at rest. It goes down from there. So the heart is up here and it can go down a little bit. Lungs fill up all this activity up here. So bring your awareness to a ball right in that place. And on the inhale, with a relaxed pelvis, allow that ball to begin to expand. So you're feeling your breastbone expanding away from the space between the shoulder blades. And you're feeling your side ribs expand out. So this ball's just blowing up. Just imagine that's happening, and it will happen. You'll feel those sensations and then relax. We're not trying to use force to fill that. It's just imagery. It's just this mind, this neuromuscular connection. We can imagine things in our mind, and our body does it. And we're helping with the breath. We're filling the space with the breath. Which all we have to do is hold our nostrils open, and as we create the space, the air fills it. And then allow it to relax back out. So feel your body expand. Don't try to press air to open it. Feel the expansion and then the air coming in to fill the volume increase. It's a very different sensation. You can feel that all through the rib, the chest area. Sometimes helps to remember to relax your jaw down and allow your shoulders to drift backwards. If you're feeling this lift, you can come and do this throughout a seated practice. Just pull up on that hair, that flat part of the back of your head that's perfectly in line with your spine. Just straight up. And see if you can feel that allows the jaw to relax and that space to form, and you can fill even more. So on an inhale, pull up a little bit if you want to do this. And it's just the intention of pulling up, just to keep everything lifted, to allow the chest to open and release. The imagery here is, this is what I learned in like second grade or something, and the imagery is still perfect. The front of the chest is a pump handle. On the inhale, you lift the pump. The breastbone lifts up like a pump handle, up like this. And then the sides lift like you're lifting pails. So you fill pails of water and you lift the pails, and the sides of the ribs lift on the inhale. The chest lifts like a pump, like lifting pails with your arms. And on the exhale, you let it go. It's the same type of sensation that I feel in my body when I visualize one or the other, in this case, the ball in the center. And then allow, as the ball fills, to begin to expand. And not as a ball now, but start to elongate so that you can feel maybe it starts to create another ball down in the pelvis. And the pelvis will begin to expand after we allow the chest to expand. And then allow the ball in the chest to relax first. So you're putting a little bit of pressure down in your pelvis to hold the ball open in the pelvis and then let the pelvis release. Let's just do that a couple more times. This is a little bit of paradoxical breathing here. We're going to breathe into the chest first. Feel that full expansion. We're going to work on the chest some today. And then just allow, softly, we've opened up the chest. Visualize the pelvis opening up while allowing the chest to stay open. It's another way to think about it. And maybe you can sit like that for a while. Just allow your body to open and maybe continually to allow the body to open and continue to allow air to come in. You can allow this to happen for a long time until you're tired of it. And then relax back out of it. Allow everything to collapse back down, the ribs to collapse back down towards the sides, front of the ribs collapsing down, front of the ribs coming towards the back. And one more time, do that. Inhale, filling the chest at the heart space as a ball, so that the bottom of the breastbone lifts up towards the ceiling like it's a pump handle, tied in at the clavicle. Feeling the sides of the ribs lifting, and just that imagery. It's almost as though there's no limit. As long as I can hold my body there, allow it to open, relax into the openness, air will continue to come in. And then I'll just give up at some time and allow it to exhale. Start with the chest on the exhale and then the belly. And now let's bring our awareness down into, with a normal breath, just a relaxed, easy breath, begin to bring your awareness into how you're sitting. Once again, how you're contacting the ground. Is your pelvis level? Can you feel the pelvis move with each and every breath? Are you relaxing your belly on the inhale? You're tightening up in your belly. Doing pranayama exercises like this can sometimes cause us to keep engaging our body in an odd way. And it's something that happens to yogis. They start these breathing exercises and they think they're supposed to breathe that way. No. It's like, yeah, every once in a while it's good to press the throttle down on your car and open it up and stuff, but that's, overall, speeding up and slowing down is not the best thing. For anything that's, mechanical, even biomechanical. Allow your body to shift gently to however it needs to find this seat. Find a connection in your legs to the earth. Find that ground of support. All the way through the legs, into the feet. And begin to notice that if you engage your feet in certain ways, and this is an experimental thing, it's different for everyone as far as I can tell, but if you engage your feet correctly, you can feel a lift through your whole body just by awareness on the feet, how they contact the earth. Right? We have been walking on the earth for a long time as a species, and these types of reflexes in our body, contact with the earth with the feet, straighten up, become anti-gravity. If we let it happen, if we don't let other habits get in the way. And when we can start to tune into those sensations, and we can feed into those, and we can sit for longer periods of time, we can stay still for longer periods of time. Our body doesn't need that movement. So when you're ready, begin to make your way onto your back. Slowly and easily. Finding a nice surface. We're going to be not moving a lot today from on your back. We'll basically be rolling to one side or the other side at the most. But first allow yourself to become one with the earth. Allow yourself to begin to feel where you're making a deep contact, where you are truly one with the earth, where you feel that equal support under you as the weight of your body is pushing down and the earth is pushing up equally. In other parts, you may feel that there's space, that the floor, the earth, and you are not in synchrony. I'm looking at these dogs lie here, and any part of their body that's close to the floor is relaxed on the floor. Begin to scan through your body. How am I lying here? Where are my arms with relation to the side of my body? Where are my hands facing towards the sky, towards me, towards the floor, away from me? That'd be very unusual. Lay out to the side, overhead. Where are my arms? Where is my head? Begin to sense that you have a very weak rubber band or piece of elastic that somehow magically adhered to the tip of your shoulder, your right shoulder and your right earlobe, so that any movement is immediately sensed. Any movement of the earlobe, any movement to the shoulder. Just imagine that connection through space. And then imagine the same on the left side. And notice if the feeling is the same, if the sensation between the left ear and the left shoulder is the same as between the right and the left. And maybe you're asking yourself, what sensations? I don't feel any sensations. And that's, you've learned something. You've learned. This is what awareness will do for us. That's the heart of the practice. It's an education practice, and you're your own teacher. I really can't teach you anything. I can just suggest little movements and things maybe to pay attention to. How am I lying on the floor? Where are my heels on the floor? Are my legs comfortable? Am I holding tension? What part of my legs are making a soft, easy contact? Feeling supported. Now there's natural places in our body that will just not completely relax onto the floor. Behind the knees for most people, that would be a hyperextension. So we're not trying to force something to go where it doesn't. What we would like to feel is through the action of our breath and the awareness on our breath, on our body movement naturally with the breath, and then augmenting that movement, always breathing with awareness in the mantra Hamsa, or So Hum if you were taught that. Hum on the inhale, Sa on the exhale, or the opposite. If that pleases you, it's just for yourself to help you to focus on the breath and feel how your body fills. As we move, your body's going to fill differently with every movement. And now feel the back of your head on the floor and gently roll your head. Hardly at all, maybe just organize to begin to allow the head to roll a little bit to the right, and open your eyes. Look at the ceiling, and then allow your eyes to begin to move to the left, and let the head follow, just a little. And then begin to move your eyes back to the neutral point, and allow your head to return. Just keep the jaw not pulled down towards the chest, but soft and relaxed, so that the jaw recesses back down towards the floor at the joint. And then go ahead and come to stillness with the awareness still in the back of the head, and begin to draw a line from the inside of your spine where it connects with the inside of your head. Right, this is much closer to your spine than the back of your spine is. Your back of your spine has these big articulating devices out there that stick out over an inch beyond your actual vertebrae. And then your vertebrae are about an inch. So the front of the vertebrae are about 2 inches in front of, not up into the head, it's only about an inch up into the head. The space gets more and more from where you feel the spine along the back. So begin to become aware of the front side of the spine. Can you feel that? You can feel the back of the spine. See if you can mirror to the front. You can feel the motion of the back of the spine on the earth as you're breathing. And just allow your awareness to drift down from the head, from vertebrae to vertebrae, finding that center of the body. The center of the body is in front of the spine. It's towards the ribs from the spine, towards the belly button. It's not in the spine. The spine's at the back of the body. The center is in front of the spine. See if you can start to feel the front of the spine now. The front of the spine mirrors the center of the body. But there's no one feature through the center of the body, but the spine is a continuous feature through our body. It's what allows us to move through space. It's what allows us to breathe. It's what allows us to digest. It's what carries our nervous system, all the appendages. Become aware of it. All the signals, all the sensations in the body, well, not all, but all the appendicular sensations in the body go through the spine. Everything you can feel with your hands and your arms and your feet and legs go through your spine. See if you can sense that as it drifts down into the pelvis. And then allow that line that you've drawn from the head down the front of the spine, coming all the way down to the tail. Follow that down straight out from your body, and notice if your heels feel like they're centered on that line, or whether one heel is closer to that. Not doing anything about it, just sensing into it, feeling it. There we go. And let's just do this. This is one of my favorite things to do. And if you really don't have, if you have socks on, I see a hardwood floor, I'm not really seeing what everyone else has. I do this on a carpet. But begin to draw, just pick one leg, and slowly organizing it first, finding the outside foot of that leg and allowing the knee to begin to bend outside. So for instance, on the right side, I'd begin to feel for the outer edge of the right foot on the floor, maybe reach for the pinky toes, see if I can feel that on the floor. And then allow the right knee to bend outwards along the floor and slowly draw the foot towards my body. But just start to organize and just allow it to move a little bit. You're going to feel the friction of whatever surface you're on. If you're on a sliding surface, that'll be a little bit easier. I like to feel the friction, but if you might not want to feel that, these sensations can be pretty rich when we do this slowly. And then slowly allow the leg to extend again. So on the right side, trying to lay flat on the back of the head's on the floor, the gaze is towards the ceiling, the eyes can be closed, jaws relaxed. Just begin to draw one foot up towards you slowly, feeling the outer edge of the foot slide all the way up. No Notice what happens if you point the toe versus drawing the toe back as you draw it towards yourself. Breathe softly and easily, just slow as it feels good, drawing the foot up and pressing it back. Slowly and easily. Bringing your awareness into the sensations of the pelvis, of the leg that you're moving to begin. Just notice how that is. If you're breathing with the movement, say for inhale, drawing the leg up, go ahead and exhale and draw the leg up. Change the pattern of the breath. If you're just breathing, and maybe you're moving the leg once every 3 or 4 breaths, or maybe moving your leg so fast that you're breathing once and the leg's moving 4 or 5 times or something. Whatever you're doing, slow it down. And make sure you're not finding a rhythm. Make sure after 3 movements of legs, you're not inhaling every time as you draw it up. Just for the variation. And you can move where you're pushing the leg to and away. It doesn't have to be a straight line each time. You can push it out a little bit, draw it back in, find the variation. This is a process of variation and selection. And the criteria that your lizard brain is going to use is what uses the least amount of energy. That's the survival criteria. This is a very Darwinian class. And then go ahead and relax that leg and give yourself a few moments of stillness to begin to pay attention between the differences between the 2 sides. And then whenever it feels right to you, begin to bring your awareness to the opposite foot, the opposite leg, and repeat that movement on this side. And maybe this time, kind of know what it feels like in the pelvis. Begin to bring your awareness to the opposite leg in the back of the pelvis as you're drawing the knee up. What happens? Is your pelvis rolling? Is your connection with the earth changing somehow? Does that change your breath? Does that change the relationship that you have with the earth? Finding that form from the earth. And that's what the earth does for us lying here. Is it gives us form. When we try to move through space, standing or seated, we don't have anything to guide us. It's been a long time since we've used the floor to guide our learning and moving, since we learned to walk, probably. We need to return occasionally, become that child once again. Learn, become our own teacher, just like we were then. No one taught us to walk. We're programmed to that. We have this selector within us. Allow it to work. Give yourself variation. Notice how your body begins as you become softer and easier at the movement. The whole body can become involved in subtle ways to distribute the energy through the body, to distribute the movement a little bit everywhere. And then you go and give a break on that side and allow both legs to relax. This is not at all what I was planning on doing. Give yourself a moment and notice the sides of your body. How does it feel to be me? How does that space in my heart feel now? Bring your awareness back to this expanding and contracting ball in the heart space. And notice how when the heart begins to overflow, it spills into the pelvis. Allow that to happen. Allow the heart to empty first, and then the belly. On the exhale. And now with your arms by the side of your body, bring them down a little bit closer to your body, maybe 6, 12 inches from your body, wherever that feels right, wherever that feels good. Because I want you to find your shoulders in a different way. Now I actually want you to move your palms so that your palms are more or less pointing down. Now if this is disturbing for you, certainly don't do it. But if you have your palms facing up, try to at least bring them facing towards your body, but then allow the hands to relax down towards the floor. So that your body's completely relaxed on the floor. And begin to think about pressing both shoulder blades directly down into the earth simultaneously. Your arms are relaxed, jaw's relaxed, chest is relaxed. We're just trying to mobilize the shoulder blades into the earth. Just straight down. And it's not much. You can't move much. These are on the ground already. You are compressing into the space between your shoulder blades and your ribs when you're doing this. Soft and easy. Just feel the sensation. Slow and easy. And just engaging or just imagining doing this is really quite spectacular. And then go ahead and let that movement go. And now I'm going to ask you to, how can I lift both shoulders, keeping the arms completely relaxed? What do you do to lift just the tips of the shoulders towards the sky? What has to mobilize? What has to stabilize? How does my breath change with this? Is it easier on an inhale or an exhale? What happens if I move my arms closer or further away? Happens if I bend my knees? Okay, but slow and easy. What's happening here? We're still mobilizing the shoulder blades. When we're pressing the shoulder blades down, we can feel the shoulder blades being drawn towards the spine. And now we have to relax that and allow the shoulder blades to be drawn with the shoulders towards each other. And then go ahead and relax that movement. Let's relax that movement down. Now, this is going to be a little bit more challenging. Bring your awareness down to your pelvis. And similar to allowing your shoulder blades to become heavier, engaging something to draw the shoulder blades towards each other to make them heavier on the earth. What can I do in my pelvis to draw the pelvic halves towards each other, and so that they become heavier on the floor? And just play with this a little bit. What can do this? Think about the shoulders. What's actually happening, right? There's muscles that are pulling each shoulder blade towards the spine. How can you engage so that you can feel the muscles of your butt coming closer together towards the center, towards the sacrum? Think about rotating from the femur outward. So maybe both feet are kind of moving away from each other a little bit. See if that, and then relax them back towards each other. See if that doesn't make the pelvis so you can feel it a little bit heavier on the floor. Now, that's an external rotation in the upper legs. Now let's try the same thing in the arms. The arms are by the side of the body and the palms are more or less on the floor facing us. Now slowly begin to turn the palms outward with your awareness on the shoulder blades. What happens with the shoulder blades with that external rotation? It's basically the same thing that happened in our pelvis when we externally rotate the legs Right? These big muscles that pull the pelvic halves towards each other in the back. It's a big part of walking. We're engaging. We engage the same ones in the shoulder. I mean, they're different muscles, of course. But we can do the same thing with that external rotation. That external rotation, we need to make space in the front. In the shoulders. See if you can feel as the palms open up. And feel the opening in the shoulders underneath the armpits. If you move the arms out a little bit more, you can even feel a little bit more opening in the armpits. And now bring your awareness back to your legs with the external rotation. And if you have a lot of external rotation, I could push my whole outer edge of the foot into the floor to really engage the glutes so that they draw towards each other. Now there's other engagement in there, but the glutes can do other things. So let's go ahead and relax this now. Now how would I bring my pelvic calves off of the floor towards each other like I did with my shoulders? So why don't we explore that a little bit? How can I bring? So it's just a thing. You have to relax something in the back of the butt so that they can get further apart from each other, come together. Okay, and like across the shoulders, we're engaging something when the shoulders are coming together in the front here, right? We're engaging something. We're engaging several different muscle groups here to draw them together. Same thing down here in the deep pelvis. Notice what happens if you allow your toes to come towards each other now a little bit. And so this is like bringing the palms towards the floor. Notice how that naturally starts the shoulders coming towards each other. So I wanted you to start there. And as the shoulders come towards each other, the shoulder blades, if you allow them to, will come outwards. So on this internal rotation, the thumb is coming towards the floor in the front. Feel the shoulder blades separate and lift. Wow, sounds like a Brazier commercial. And on the way back, you can feel the shoulder blades draw in and to get towards each other and drop down a little bit. So now see if you can feel those same sensations in the pelvis from that same type of movement. One way to lift your pelvis, like I was saying, was just engage your glutes. If you can engage your glutes, you can pop your pelvis right up. And we'll play with that in just a minute. That's a slightly different movement in the pelvis. But become your best teacher here. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to learn from these movements. And now I want you to become aware of another connection. Actually, go ahead and just relax for a minute. Just go ahead and let it go. Begin to feel how it feels to be me in this moment. Scanning, where can I let go a little bit more? Where can I bring my breath, my softening breath? Not trying to force the breath into some place like an air hammer or something. That's not really going to help us much. It's the softening breath. It's allowing the space to open up to be filled with air. I mean, breathing is opening. It's making space. It's changing the entire shape of our body for an inhale versus an exhale. All right, now let's do an internal rotation with the right arm. So we're going to bring the thumb towards the body and we're going to bring the toes of the left foot towards the center line. Draw those together at the same time. And see if you can feel the connection across the body. Now there's not a single muscle group that goes across the body. But see if you can feel that connection from the right shoulder to the left pelvis as you turn the left inner foot towards the floor and the right thumb inward towards your body. So it's an internal rotation, left pelvis, right arm, and then slowly back out. Just to neutral several times. See if you can feel that connection coming through each other. And notice that you may feel that connection a little bit more clearly on an exhale. And especially if on the exhale you really allow your ribs to relax. Allow your ribs to relax down to the floor as you're internally rotating. And then a soft inhale. And just let the inhale bring you back to neutral. Hold, take a soft breath and hold it. And make that internal rotation and see if you don't feel like really wanting to exhale because you're twisting your body and you're trying to squeeze that breath out. So an exhale is going to help you move into this. An inhale, if you release everything that you come to bring the right shoulder in, if you release all that, just on the inhale, it's going to return it. If you allow the breath to fill the torso. Go ahead and relax on that side just for a minute and see if you can still feel the residue sensations of that crossbody. This is the only kind of anatomy lesson that actually helps someone. If you're naming muscles, you're not learning anything about what they do in your body. They don't need a name. They just need to be felt, sensed, and appreciated. Not be slogged around and do stupid things like 20 marathons in 20 days or something. Could you imagine like a caveman doing something like that? They were saving energy. They weren't wasting it. All right, so now let's try the other side. So now we're going to bring our awareness to the connection between the left elbow and the right pelvis with an internal rotation, allowing the left thumb to come in towards the body, allowing the right big toe to come towards the floor. Just slowly and easily. Find the breath with this. Maybe you can find a breath that will enhance this movement. Oh, we're getting real dark here, aren't we? Yeah, thanks, Tara. All right, wow. Let there be light. And there was light. That's what guru means, the bringer of light. Not that I'm a guru. That's a kind of creepy idea to me. Feel it. Feel it. Allow your body to conform to this. Does your body want to twist a little? It might want to twist a little on something like this. See if that happens. What happens with your head? Can you do something with your jaw to help with this? Can your eyes help? Okay, now just go ahead and bring that to a rest. We'll do it one more time. If you forgot to soften your ribs on the exhale. This is the big thing. When we want to feel a connection across the front of the body, we have to soften the ribs. And we really hate doing that. It seems like in the modern world, we want to keep these ribs like engaged, flaring out. Have to soften them, allow them to sink in, use their flexibility. And this is where that rolling might have helped you. You might be able to roll the whole body so the shoulder's going towards that opposite pelvis. Let's go ahead and feel that. Take a break first. Now let's go ahead and feel into that. We're not doing anything I planned on doing. There's this notion in the yoga practice. It's called pratibha. Pratibha means an intuitive flow. And it's kind of the goal of yoga, is to make life an intuitive flow. And very often you can feel that in your life where you are riding on pratibha, feeling the grace of pratibha. And very often when I'm teaching a class, I feel that. So it's like anything I plan coming in is just, it's not there anymore. It's not part of it. All right, so now let's try this. Let's go ahead and roll onto the right side. So you might want to allow the right arm to come out to the side. You might want to bring the right knee, bend and roll to your side, or bring both legs to standing and roll to the right side. That's probably the best thing to do, is bring both legs to standing and roll to the right side so you're lying on your right side. Yeah. And then go ahead and bring your left arm and bend your knees. Go ahead and bend your knees. Bend your knees so that they're a right angle. So that you're at a 90-90. So you have 90 degrees between your torso and your thighs, and 90 degrees between your thighs and your calves. Really find a comfortable spot. This whole thing depends on finding this place where you can lay on your side balanced for an extended period of time. Once you begin to find that, allow the back of your left hand, the back of your left hand to come to your back someplace, wherever that is. And just allow it to lie there for a moment, to relax. Give the shoulder a moment. This is an internal rotation. Okay, we're allowing that shoulder to rotate inwards. You might want to see if you can sense that connection between the left shoulder and the right pelvis. Just a little bit here. See if you can find that and see if that doesn't help you. Just a little bit here. Help you keep that arm back there. It's going to draw the shoulder a little bit forward. You might find that you have a little bit more space. See if you can bring your fingers to the floor and walk your fingers along the floor. Right, on the left fingers. And just wherever they go, when there's no destination, allow yourself to fail. There is no learning if there's not failing. The body has to try many different things. It's just a very complex movement. These are incredibly complex movements. And we understand now that complex systems can't really be understood analytically the way we can understand simple systems. And really the best way to go about modifying them is trial and error as a way of learning anything. And then maybe whenever this becomes tiring to you, the shoulder is a very sensitive thing. It wasn't designed for much of anything besides swinging from trees and bringing food to our mouth. If it gets tired, bring it back. Let it rest for a while. Okay. In fact, everyone give it a break. We don't want to overuse the shoulder. This is one of those habits that we're trying to allow our body to learn other mechanisms, other pathways of movement. We get in the habit from sitting. It's really tough to move the torso, to reaching for everything with a still torso, with a still body. And we're really not supposed to do that. We're supposed to move the body to where we're going and then just use a little bit of the fine motor skills of the fingers, right? So the gross motor to get you there, and then the fine motor skills, everything right in front of us. We're not supposed to be working on stuff out here. It's to be right here. Shoulders are very, very weak. So now go ahead and bring that left arm back behind your back once again. And now flatten the back of the hand on your back someplace comfortable. And if it's way down on your sacrum, that's fine. That's fine. Right? If it's off your back completely and down by your legs, that's fine. Wherever it can easily go, open the hand so that the back of the hand is touching the back of your legs, the back of your butt, the back of your sacrum, your lower back, between your shoulder blades or the back of your head. If you get the back of your hand onto the back of your head, that's quite the thing, but I've seen people do it. I have no desire to do that. I don't think I would be using my shoulder again. But from wherever it can go, easily just slide it around a little bit. And in particular, see if you can begin to feel with your knuckles your spine. Just slowly and easily. Just checking out our spine. I like to use my thumb a lot on this, so I'll bring my thumb up towards my head a little bit and run that down the spine with the rest of the hand flat. If I can hold it there. There again, I'm not forcing it flat, I'm just opening the hand a little bit. So I have more sensation of the hand and the back connection, so that there's more learning going on. Slowly and easily, right? This is an internal rotation, and we're moving that arm in complex ways. Okay, so go ahead and release that left arm back around. Just to relax for a minute. You can allow it to lay on your sides. You can bring it in front of you, wherever it is. Check in with the right side of your body. Are you laying comfortably on the left side of your body? And one more time. This is just one last time. Just bring the hand behind the back one more time. And slowly and easily glide the hand along the back, wherever it goes. Maybe you can start to rotate the wrists so the fingers begin to point along the spine, if that feels okay. And maybe you might notice that if you allow this connection between the left shoulder and the right pelvis to form, you might notice that if you can feel the shoulder and the pelvis drawing towards each other on an exhale with an arched back, you might be able to find a lot of space back there. It's all about the connection. It's the cross-body connection. Allowing to find that space in your body. Okay? Allow the belly to move. Allow the spine to move as you move back there now. Don't try to keep the spine still. Allow a little bit of movement. Arching, flattening, and just moving the hand independent of that movement, but slowly with full awareness. And then go ahead and release all that. Come back onto your back. Begin to feel the difference between your left shoulder and your right shoulder. Tara and I were doing something like this morning, and Tara had never had her fingers together behind her back before in cow face pose. And just rolling around like this a little bit, and she got them right together. It's always relaxation. It's always easing in that makes it happen. It's never working. It never works. Success is not achievement. Success is awareness. Success is presence, is being present in the movement. It's not getting somewhere. It's being there for it. All right, so let's roll onto the left side now. And come to that 90-90. So maybe bring the left arm out. Bring the knees to standing and allow your body to roll over to that side. Find a comfortable place to start off with so that you can let your body sink in there, right? So that you can just let everything go. You can feel how the right side of your body is becoming part of the earth. Sometimes it's easier to get the side body to flatten onto the earth than it is the back. Let that happen. We can curl around a little bit if necessary. Bend the knees where it's comfortable, and then begin, when you're ready, to allow the right hand to become behind the back, and just allow it to lie back there for a while, wherever it's comfortable. Just allowing the shoulder to become used to this. And something you can do, I didn't have you do this one the last time, is draw the shoulder forward with the hand behind the back, and see if you can bring the right shoulder blade towards the spine by drawing the shoulder back. So this is just a shoulder forward towards the ceiling, shoulder back, pressing the shoulder blade into the floor with the right arm behind you. And then let that movement go. And you might notice if you start moving your arm around and you do that movement to the shoulder, you might notice there's ways that you can move your shoulder blade that allows space to open up for your right hand. So walk the fingers along the floor a little bit, maybe up towards your underarm along the floor, maybe away from your body, wherever they go. Bring your awareness, allow the awareness to be the guide. And then you can bring the back of the right hand someplace onto your back. Begin to palpate, begin to feel with your knuckles, your thumb, or whatever is convenient for you. See if you can feel some of the spine, the vertebrae back there. And just bring it up along the back, wherever it goes. And maybe bring a less, think about that connection. What happens? What happens if I arch my back a little bit as I slide my hand? Does that help a little bit? What happens if I bend forward a little bit? Does that help or does that hinder? Maybe you can roll a little bit. Maybe you can bring your head a little bit into it, just a little bit. What can I do to make this easy? What can I do to make it smooth? And of course, as soon as it's not easy and smooth, we stop and we go back. We always stay within the easy and smooth, but we notice over time there seems to be a little bit more area we can cover. So go ahead and release, relax, bring that right arm back to the side of the body, stay on your side. Just allow the shoulder to relax a little bit. You might want to shake it out a little bit. And breathe. Breathe into the chest. Feel that ball. Notice how inhaling into that ball in your chest feels different lying on your side. Allowing the breath to then come down into the belly feels very different lying on the side. And exhale from the chest. Allowing the breath to stay in the belly until the very end. A little paradoxical breathing in there is always a really nice thing to wake up the body. So now go ahead and bring the right hand back behind you once again. Back of the hand on the back. And just start moving it around and maybe have the intention of bringing the fingers along the spine, the fingertips up along the spine somehow. Not to force it to happen, but just a secondary intention. Maybe if I roll my elbow and my shoulder just the right way, and I can get my back open so that my back and my hand are meeting rather than I'm chasing my back with my hand. Maybe I can find a little bit more space. Right? It's not really that the shoulder's opening up that anymore. This is the point. We're not trying to force the shoulder around. We're trying to find the space through experiment in the rest of the body to allow it to go through. And if you do this once a week or so for several months, you'll start to notice, wow, that space is starting to open up and stay there. Will probably not be there for you tomorrow. So go ahead and let that go. And roll onto your back. think I'm going to do here is leave. So we don't have enough time to do much of anything. Well, let's do this. Let us go ahead and do this, I think. Let's bring our legs to standing. And bring your feet to a place comfortably under your knees so that you'll be able to hold your pelvis off the ground for a while. I think this will be a good way to end this class. Slowly begin to find the entire surface of the bottom of your foot in contact with the earth. Feel the places holding the weight. Feel the difference in the weight between the left and the right foot of just having standing legs. With your arms once again at the side of your body, relax and comfortable into the shoulders, relax jaw, eyes more or less pointing towards the ceiling, but they can be closed. It's not a problem. Begin to gently press into your feet to start to engage to lift your pelvis. And just do that a couple times. Just feel the engagement to lift the pelvis and set it back down. So not much at all. Maybe do that on an exhale. But however it feels, continue to breathe. And then bring your pelvis up to a comfortable height, someplace that you can hold for a few moments. So your back of your pelvis is maybe 6 inches, 8 inches, 10 inches, 12 inches off the ground, wherever it is. And begin to bring the palm of your right hand underneath your back. So that the back of the hand is facing the back, but the palm is still on the floor in a comfortable place, just the right arm. So you can sense the space between the back of your hand and the back of your back. Your pelvis is lifted. And just from the elbow, begin to try to slide the hand wherever it will slide. So this is an elbow movement now. We're pressing the hand away, the shoulders not moving much. Allow the movement to be distributed, but primarily we're thinking about moving into the elbow. What can we relax? What can we let go of to allow this elbow movement to happen? You might find this thing is like really crazy to be doing right now. And then go ahead and bring that right arm out and relax back down. Begin to feel the difference. If there's any differences between the right and the left shoulders, perhaps even your pelvis. And let's try that one more time. Comfortably lift your pelvis to a comfortable height where you can reach the right arm under there. And now we're going to try to do kind of a wax on, wax off kind of thing behind our back. And see if we can slide the hand, the right hand to the left as we're sweeping it down and then back around and making a little circle so that we're engaging both the elbow, and this is underneath our back as far as it's comfortable. So we're using both the elbow and the shoulder, and you can even allow the hand to begin to point up towards your head as you're doing this and feeling how that changes things. Slowly, and then change the direction of the circle. Feeling deep into the shoulder. And then let that go whenever you're ready. Take a break. You can extend your legs. Yourself a moment. We still have the other side to do, so don't get too rested. We don't do Savasana in here. Savasana was invented as an end of a asana practice thing in the 1960s. And then when you're ready, bring your feet back to standing. Find that place to lift and lift. And bring the left arm under. And begin that sweeping motion from the elbow alone. Allowing the body to accommodate, of course. I'm floating through space and time. Go ahead and let that go for a minute and set yourself down. Floating through space and time. I'm floating space and time. Then go ahead and bring yourself back up, your pelvis back up, left hand back under, and begin that wax on, wax off motion, the circles from both the elbow and the shoulder, and perhaps with an intention of bringing the fingers towards the head at the wrist. Through space and time. I'm floating through space and time. Don't forget to change directions. I'm floating through space and time. And then let it go when you're ready. I'm floating through space and time. Allow yourself to just come to complete rest, melting. I'm floating through space and time. And give yourself permission to space and time. I'm floating through space and time. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings exist in peace and freedom. And through my thoughts, and my words, and my actions, will I honor their peace and freedom. Namaskaram.
Namaskar.
Well, thank you, folks, for joining us this evening.